Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're chatting this morning with Rohdill Kirk, Superintendent of the TTPS. This morning, our focus is on increasing Tobago's security. Good morning. Welcome to you, Officer Kirk.
Hi, particular.
Oh, yes. Feel free.
Yes. Good morning, Rhea, and good morning to your viewers and listeners from wherever they may be tuned in from.
All right. That's good. Really good to have you on the program this morning. Now, quite recently, Superintendent Kirk, we had ACP, the new ACP, Collis Hazel, on the program with us, and he spoke about there being a new sheriff in town, and he spoke to the issue of Tobagonians feeling safe in the Tobago space once again, putting measures in place to ensure that it happened. He spoke at length about, again, there being a new sheriff in town and what he was going to do, what his team of officers in Tobago were going to do with regards the illegal elements and the drugs and the drug blocks, etc. Following that, there was, we just saw there was a forum hosted by the TTPS, and the ACP again spoke to the issue of some of the crime-fighting plans for the TTPS in Tobago. Now, I'm sure you noticed social media was abuzz, was on fire. Just after that, persons asking the question, why take this approach, this particular approach of informing the criminal element, hey, I'm coming to your house. Was that the intention? And I know you can't speak for the ACP, but in terms of your position, the helmet or head or hat that you wear as the superintendent of police, was that the best approach?
Well, again, I can't comment. I can't speak about what the ACP might have said, but what I know for a fact is that public safety is one of our strategic pillars, and our duty as police officers is to create that safe space for the citizenry and to make sure that people feel safe whilst they go about their natural business.
Yes.
I believe what the ECP had said in the last clipping that I just viewed, I believe that statement was a bit misconstrued, because what the ECP, for me, what I understand it to mean, is that the persons who are in the space creating that level of disruption or entertaining or this criminal and criminality, these are the persons he was actually addressing. But, you know, that soundbite with all cars and all houses, I believe that is what people focused on. But if you listen carefully, you will realize that ECP mainly was referring to the persons who are actually, the criminals actually.
Who are on the police radar.
Yes, who are actually, based on intelligence that the police had identified, those are the persons that the police will be targeting. So I guess just a bit of clarity. That is what that is the intention, and that is what I understood that he was actually trying to get out to the public in terms of our activities going forward.
And this spate of activities, this spate of searching already started, yes?
The police has always had part of our tools and crime fighting tools. We do raids and searches, we do roadblocks, we do all other activities in terms of fighting crime. Yes, in terms of the new initiatives, well, not so new. What we did is actually just increase the resources, and in terms of having more things on at any particular time. So that is what is happening as we speak.
All right. Now, I know you tried to express to our viewers this morning what the ACP might have meant. One viewer on the live says, Rohdill, it is a dangerous statement. And I know in your efforts to clarify, you did a good job. But I think also hearing from the ACP, hearing that statement of clarity, to put into the hearts of Tobagonians some ease, to allow them to be rest assured that the job will be done in terms of turning over every stone to find the criminal element, but ensuring that citizens are kept safe. Because at the end of the day, what was in the minds of the public was, I could be at home, and I read some of the comments. I could be at home 2 o'clock in the morning and read at my home, and that's the fear that was instilled in the hearts of ordinary citizens like you and me when they heard the statement.
Well, let me clarify that the police act and operate within the laws of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's not just like you just come off the street and randomly go to someone's home, enter and search. No, that is not it. What the police do in the normal schemes of things is do their intelligence gathering, etc. And they would know who are the persons that they are looking for. It's not like, okay, you just randomly pick out a person name from a hat and go to search. No. So that wouldn't be lawful. You have to satisfy a certain threshold before you could go the way of actually going by someone to search. Right? In terms of vehicles on the road, well, that is a different scheme because there are several legislations that give the police power to search, to stop and search. Under the Firearms Act, it is there. Under the Pre-Deal Larceny Act, it also gives the police a power. So the police will be utilizing those forms of legislation in order to do the exercise on the road. But in terms of the house search, these are done based on intelligence, right? It's not just you pick up a name and you go and search. So just to be clear, that is what will happen going forward.
All right, but we've heard of scenarios and situations where, based on a tip received by an anonymous individual, the police would have searched individuals' homes, ransacked the homes, forced the occupants of the home out of their bedrooms, out of their beds, with whatever they were wearing, to sleep in. We've heard of these situations and scenarios. How does your statement then justify these type of situations?
Well, that situation, I have no knowledge of that kind of situation. If it happens, it is not the correct thing to do, because the thing about it, just having a tip and run to somebody's house. No, I will reiterate that the police has to satisfy a certain criteria before they could actually go to someone's home to search. And you cannot do that illegally. You have to have the necessary authority, which by way of a search warrant, etc., to do that, just like that. The thing about it, the only other options available to the police, or if they are in hot pursuit and someone run into a house, well, then they could pursue that person inside without the warrant. However, in a situation that you just explained, I don't think that is not a practice that we encourage. I am not saying that it may not have happened in the past,
yes,
but that is not a practice that we encourage, because that would be entering the person's home unlawfully.
All right. So we're talking about the search here of vehicles and homes of known or persons who are on the radar of the police, the TTPS.
Well, again, let me reiterate that during our course of our activities on a daily basis, information will come to the police about certain offenders. Once that is checked out and verified what the police do, they would obtain search warrants to search some of those persons' name. So this is what we do. It's not that, again, not that we'll just pick up
right.
And just, right? So this is what we do. Is based on the intelligence gathering apparatus, we will act on that and do what we need to do. Now, I just want to assure the public, sometimes, and I know, look at what is happening in Tobago for the past couple of weeks. We have had a little increase in our murder rate. Taking into consideration that even with that, the level of serious crime in comparison to last year has been on the decrease. We have a 27% decrease in serious crimes at this time. Although murder is a serious crime, we have seen an increase in terms of comparison to last year. Last year around this time we had 2, now we had 6. So that is a cause for concern. What I urge the public, members of the public, to do is that, in terms of police activities, you will be inconvenienced to some extent when the police are doing the operation. But this is just a matter of making the place safe for you. So I just want the public to give them the assurance that the police will abide strictly within the laws of Trinidad and Tobago in the execution of their duties. And just bear with us with the little inconvenience you may experience from time to time. with the police operating on the roadways
All right.
or in the communities.
Understood. What should the public, in fact, in terms of what the police are looking for upon these roadblocks and these, of course, carrying out your duties, what are they looking for?
Right. The police will be paying attention to all offenses, whether it be narcotics, firearm, persons who have outstanding warrants, etc. Because what we realize is that, you know, we need to actually, when you look at how these crimes are occurring, people are driving around doing what they do. We will be checking for stolen vehicles, all these other things that, you know, all crime fighting, all any manner you offend against the law, that is what we are treating with at this point in time. So the thing about it, if we endure, if we that level of consistency and being out there, you know, that in itself, our presence in itself within the communities will create that environment where people feel safe, right? So that is our main objective at the end of the day.
To ensure that the citizens of Tobago and to Trinidad by extension
feel safe within their communities.
yes.
Right?
All right. So there are some drug blocks and being created throughout Tobago. Corners were clear, and then I want to say here, almost overnight, you see little groupings formulating. What should communities be aware of? In fact, what should communities do? How should communities take action? Should they take action? Should they say nothing at all? What should they do?
When you stand and say nothing, you know, it affects the entire community. I am saying that we live in this space, and as
which is a very little space, a very
yes.
community-oriented space, but also a very connected space.
Yes, it is. It is. So our mindsets in Tobago have to change. You know, sometimes when you leave little things for over a while, it festers into something huge, and then it becomes beyond our control. We need to get away from that mindset. Now, when we see something starting up, you know, there are so much mechanism in which the public could provide that level of information. And once they do it, we will gather the intelligence and we will do what we need to do in order to disrupt it. I'm saying again, it starts like a small gathering, but at the end of the day, it hits home. And where there are drugs, you see the guns and ammunition come forth. And then you see the fight for turf. So we need not encourage this kind of activity within our space, our small space, as you just mentioned. So the Tobago public needs to change their mindset. This is our space. We need to take it back from the persons who are meant to bring that scourge and that sort of undesirableness within our communities. We need to take back our communities, and this is what I urge the public to do.
What are the known hotspots in Tobago?
It's hard to really pinpoint any particular place, but even within the tongue of Scarborough, there are several areas that, you know, we have seen a little spike in certain activities. So I wouldn't want to call one particular village. I just want you to know that the police are aware of some of the players in this space, and we have always been targeting those players, and we will continue. We'll be consistent until, you know, we could have some level of control or normalcy within this space.
Okay, and what are the numbers for persons to contact for in case of emergency? The numbers should they require the police assistance?
Well, if you're talking about emergency, you still have the numbers. You still have 99999, 9911, 555. In terms of like your local CID 639-2515, those are the numbers you can call for quick response, and I assure that you will get that.
All right, and you notice illegal or nefarious activities in your community. Are these the same numbers to call?
Yes, you can call. Well, 800 tips as well, because all those are 800 tips 555. Those units take the information anonymously. They don't require name, address, or any other info. They just need the information, and they would pass it on to the relevant authority to treat with it as quickly as possible.
Okay, thank you so much for chatting with us this morning, Mr. Kirk, Officer Kirk. It's always a pleasure to have the TTPS on the program with us. And in terms of your speaking to the viewers this morning, I think at the end of the day, I want to leave on a good note, a confident note, and a reassuring note. So, what would you say to the citizens of Tobago and those viewing us on the live?
I want to assure the citizens that the police are doing all within, or well, let's say we, the police in Tobago, are doing all within our power to make sure that we are in control of what is taking place. We know that some people look at speed rather than accuracy, but just give us that chance to do what we need to do, and rest assured that within the next couple of weeks we will have some normalcy return, because as I say, all our fighting initiative, which the ACP spoke about, it is already started. Just be a bit patient with us and allow us to do what we need to do to create that safe environment for you within the Tobago public.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much again, Officer Cook, for being on the program with us. Viewers, lots more coming up this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. Coming up just after, we will be chatting with Assemblyman Terrence Baines. Assemblyman Baines is the Secretary for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. And this morning, the focus is on the United, let me get that there, that's right, the United Nations Economic and Social Youth Forum synopsis. So share the live, share the live, share the live.